world. And that's what I work to do. It's almost like retelling a story. I try to bring out as much validation as possible, so this way, when the person leaves the audience, they know that they can continue that conversation. The conversation in my book doesn't start or begin with the psychic medium. It starts with you.
So in a room like this right now, are you seeing anything besides your grandmother and the two of us?
Yes, absolutely. So your dad departed?
Yes, you do.
Know that he's stepping forward because I see your father right behind you. There's also a grandmother that's coming through with you as well that's really, really strong from the other side.
Okay.
The moment you walked in the room, they were just here.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's how I see them.
Oh, wow. So what could you tell me about Dad and grandmother?
So your dad is really proud of you from the other side. When I'm connecting with him, he shows me he was a very strong worker here in the physical world. He shows me that you actually have a tool set, or there was tools that you collected or kept of his.
Yeah, I guess, well, he has tools, yes. He has tools, yes.
That were passed on to you.
I don't know. I don't have, he has a lot of tools at home.
Okay, because anytime that you keep things in memory of your loved one, or you might have them, I always ask for things that were kept or the family might have that, acknowledges the memory of that person. He's bringing that up.
Okay.
Your dad tells me that his fondest memories of you were back when you were a little girl, way beforehand, because he shows me that you were a daddy's girl, and I see you sitting on his lap, and he shows me about the way that you used to take little vacations with one another and drive in the car and eat ice cream with one another. But he also shows me that he had many issues with his with his health here in the physical world. He talks about having multiple issues within his body, and there was also some fluid buildup or fluid issues. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Because he's bringing that up. The one thing that your dad wants you to know is that he wishes that he would have told you how much that he loved you or cared about you more towards the end. He feels like he wasn't as vocal as he should have been. And he also tells me at the end, I don't know if it was because of the medications that he was on or what he was taking, but he tells me that he was kind of lucid or out of it at times. Do you understand that?
yes.
So it's your dad's way of acknowledging that even though he wasn't able to understand or able to communicate with you in a way that would have been more receptive, or that he could have told you more about his feelings or emotions, he's telling you that he's watching you over you every single day now from the other side.
Now, so could I ask you a question to ask my dad? Can you do something like that?
The
or-
way that it works is more of a request. A lot of times they just tell me information when I'm there. And especially a lot of times I'll see loved ones if there's an urgent question or an urgent need that they need to come through and answer.
So is he saying anything else then? Is he telling you anything else?
The more thing that he's concerned about was just his passing, because he tells me about the way that everything was a little bit crazy at the end and the way that the family was kind of pulled apart. And he tells me that, because he talks about the chaos that was involved in all of it. And his main concern to you is that he did make it to the other side and that he is okay. Because he talks about that there was problems with, hold on, I'm listening. Okay, he's telling me that there was issues with doctor's appointments or issues of him seeing doctors. So I don't know if it was just that they couldn't diagnose him or didn't diagnose him in time, but that's one of the things that he's acknowledging.
And so does he remember anything about the last day? I mean, from his last breath,
Oh, absolutely.
tell me what you
He tells me about the way that everybody was rushing down to come and see him and to say goodbye to him. He talks about the way that he couldn't talk at the end. There was issues in through here. And he says to me, because I keep feeling like a gurgling when I'm connecting with him. I mean, it was a gurgling in through here or within his throat. Do you remember that?
Yes, absolutely.
And he says to me that he was so at peace when he left this world. He says because he got to say goodbye to everybody, one by one by one. And he tells me, was it you who was watching his chest rise and fall? I see that he just showed me a vision of his chest and watching the chest rise and fall.
Well, previous to his death, I may have done that, yeah.
And he tells me that you kissed him on the head after his departure.
Well, he was already gone, yes.
That's what I'm talking about, after his departure. So after he had passed, when you leaned down and kissed your dad, no, it's his way of acknowledging that, and acknowledging that he knew that you were there, and that his soul was with you on the other side when that happened.
Now, Dad speaks Italian, and in the end he tended to speak Italian, not understand English as much or anything. So how would you speak with people that speak different languages?
Oh my God, I love this question. I'm so happy that you asked this question. Nobody's asked me this question before. So everybody always asks me all the time, or you might be wondering, how can you talk to somebody who speaks a different language? Or how can you speak to someone if they don't have the same language as you? And it's because when you get to the other side, there's a universal way to communicate. And the way that they communicate with me is I might not hear names, but they'll show me different visions in front of me. So the best way to describe it is if I handed you a photo album of my life, and I said, look at this, and you flip through the pages, and you tell me, about my life, and you look through and say, okay, this looks like your mom and your dad and your grandpa. That's how I'm seeing it. It's moving pictures. So you can tell a story a lot by the pictures or by the illustrations. And that's how I tell the story when firsthand words are not accessible.
Now, can my dad tell me who's with there, who's met up there?
There's a lot of souls that are with your dad. There's one man identifying himself by the name of Frank. Would you know who that is? I believe it was somebody that he worked with. Now, what happens is that when somebody passes or somebody goes to the other side, there's a lot of different souls that are there that are with him. So, for example, is that a lot of times, and you'll see this at today's event, is that when people come in, they're thinking, okay, only my mom's there, or only my dad's there, or only my grandmother. But really, you bring with you anyone that you've ever lost. So, friends, neighbors, much like we're sitting here talking with one another, they talk to each other in heaven. Everyone's just with one another.
Excellent. So his grandmother or his mother?
Oh, they're all there, absolutely.
Okay. And so you can't tell me any more about them or what?
I see them, but it's your dad who's the one. Normally, there's usually like one person that steps up that does all the talking, and in this
Okay.
case, it's your father. So when I see them on the other side, much like we're sitting in this room together, that's how I see them up in heaven. And you'll see this during the event, that the way that everybody's in the chairs with one another, and the way that everybody is sitting with one another, all of their loved ones are together. So even if friends came together and their parents didn't know each other, they might come through in the same reading because they're sitting with one another.
Okay.
Because in heaven, they don't have different places where they live. There are no different houses. There are no, people living in different streets or cities. Everyone's just with one another.
Now you said you also saw grandmother here. Did
Yes.
she say anything?
Yes, she was a very religious woman here in the physical world, because she talks about rosary beads that were kept, that she's holding on to. She shows me that when she was here, she was the type of person that was like everybody's grandmother. I see everyone around her. She shows me that she used to love to bake, and I think that there used to be like a bread recipe. She used to cook bread, because I keep seeing bread pulled out of the oven when I'm communicating with her. Very strong as well, and she's on the other side. There's also actually children that passed that with her.
Oh, can you tell me more about the
Yes,
children?
there's babies that are there.
Oh, okay.
There's a baby lost in the family. I think there was 2.
So they're abortions or
It could be abortion, it could be miscarriage or stillbirth.
Oh, okay.
Or a child that maybe passed during pregnancy.
Oh, okay, excellent, great. Well, thank you very much. I'm so excited.